Hello everyone and welcome to this video tutorial on using tables in Microsoft Word. Now, tables play a big role when it comes to laying out a document. They allow you to present your data in columns and rows and make information look more organized and easier to read. And tables have their own contextual ribbon with many different options available to recognize. Modify and format the table to match the overall look and feel of any document. So in this tutorial, we are going to go through the process of inserting a table into a document, and then I'm going to show you some tips and tricks when it comes to formatting the table. So let's first deal with inserting a table into a blank document. Now, there are a few different ways that you can do this. So I'm going to show you a couple of them. The first way is to jump up to the insert ribbon and you will see the table option. And when you click on the drop down, you essentially get this little grid. These allow you to select how many rows and how many columns you want in your table, and you can see as I hover my mouse over this grid, it is filling the table list in my document. So if I know, for example, that I want a table that is 3 columns by 4 rows, I just need to select that many squares in a little grid and I click, and there is my table. Now, the other option that you have when it comes to inserting table, I am just going to quickly delete this table out. Is again to jump up to the Insert tab, click the table drop down, and instead of using the grid, there is an Insert Table option, and this is where you can go in and you can specify the number of columns and the number of rows that you want in your table. So we are going to have 4 columns and have 10 rows, then get a choice of the auto-fit behavior. So for example, here fixed column width means that each column in a table will be the same width determined by word. And I have list set to automatic, so it's going to do the best fit auto fit to contents, means that each column will fit the content within the table. And finally, auto fit to window means that the columns will expand to be flush with the left and right margins. Now I find that most of the time this fixed column width is absolutely fine. For what I need to do, because if I do need to make an adjustments or changes to the width of the columns, I can do that after I have inserted the table. So I'm going to click on OK, and there we have my table. Now I'm going to select the entire table. If you're going up to your ribbons, you will see that now because I have a table selected, I have access to the table design ribbon. And the table layout ribbon between these 2 ribbons, you can pretty much control every aspect of your table. So let's start with the table design. This is where I can go to really control the formatting of my table. For example, in the middle here, some table styles I can apply, and you will see as I hover over, I get that leaf preview so I can see which one I want to use before I actually apply it. So it is a nice quick way of adding formatting. Now you can apply a table style and then you can modify different elements of the formatting you are. Not just stuck with the color scheme that you have. So if I decide that I quite like this table style, but I want to change maybe the background shading of the header row, I can just select the header row. Go up to shading and I can choose a completely different color. Now I'm going to enter some text into here. So I'm going to click in this first cell. I'm going to type in the word north. Press the Tab key to move across to the next cell. Tap again east. Tab again west. So tab will allow you to move between your different cells in order to input any data. It is worth noting that if you are click in a cell, so I am click in north if I was to press enter. It's just going to make that cell taller. It's not going to move me down to the next row. To do that, I would either need to click with my mouse in the cell below. Alternatively, I can use my down arrow to move to that cell. I can also make an adjustment to the width of these columns simple by hovering my mouse over the column border and dragging out or in, and I could do the same for the rows. I can drag them up and I can drag them down. So I have gone ahead and I have added some data into the top half of this table. Now, a few other things that I can do here with formatting. Again, I have some table style options. So currently you can see that I have banded rows turned on, which is giving me least alternate blue and white colors in this table. If I turn those off, it removes length. I could choose to have banded columns instead. I could choose to format the last column so you can see now it is made all of those numbers in bold. Or I could even add a total row, a header row, or a first column. I could also add some interest to my table by adding borders. So currently I have very pale borders running through my table. But if I wanted to, I can select my table and I have this borders group up here. So what I might want to do is give it its reasonably thick border. So I am going to select a solid line. I am going to make the border a bit thicker. So 2.25 points. And I'm going to make that border a completely different color, so let's do the bright green, and then I can choose what kind of border I want. And again, if I hover over these different options, you can see how they apply. For example, left border is going to give me the green left border. I can do all borders to put a board around everything alternatively. I could just do an outside border or an inside border. So in this case, I'm going to do an outsider border and then going to change the width of my pen. So I'm going to take that down to 1.5 points. I am going to change the pen color to a blue color. And this time, I'm going to select inside borders, like so. Lots of different styling options available for you on the table design ribbon. The other ribbon that we have here is the layout ribbon. And this is where you can do things like insert rows, insert columns, merge cells, split cells, change the text direction, and also the alignment of your text within your cells. Let's take a look at some of these basic things if you want to add a new row in. If I want a new row in between this row that I have got highlighted and the one below, all I need to do is highlight the row. Then on the layout ribbon, you can see in the rows and columns group, I have the option to insert a new row above where I am clicked or below, like so. And the same thing works for columns. So I could highlight the east column and choose if I want to insert a blank column to the left or to the right. Another quick way of adding a row is if you click just outside the table, so in the west column where we have 49. I am going to click my cursor just outside of the table, and if I press the enter key, it's going to give me a brand new row. Similarly, if I want to delete anything, so if I want to delete these two blank rows that I have put in, I can highlight them. And in the rows and columns group, I have a delete option. And I can say delete rows. I'm going to do the same for these blank rows at the bottom, but this time I'm going to right-click my mouse. And you will see that I also have an option in the right-click menu for deleting rows. Thank you for watching my video and hope you guys enjoy our lessons.